What is up? Today we are looking at the Pyro V2 RDTA squonkable. So yeah, it's squonkable RDTA. Um, just a little caveat, the Pyro RDTA, the first RDTA, is by far my favorite RDTA. So I was very excited to hear they came out with a version 2. And I was even more excited to hear that they're going to include a squonk pen with it. So very cool stuff. If you're squonking, you're going to get tons of juice. You should get a lot of flavor. Yeah. So I am reviewing the Project Sub-Ohm edition today. It was the same price as the others, and I'm just sucker for that blue and black that Project Sub-Ohm is known to do. So the Pyro V2 RDTA squonkable. Let's dive down, take a look at it. We'll come up, puff on it. I'll talk about it a little more. All right. So we have the Vandy Vape Pyro V2 bottom feeder RDTA, and this will be the Project Sub-Ohm Limited Edition. As I mentioned earlier, I have been highly anticipating this one simply because I had the original Pyro, and guys, by far my favorite RDTA to date. I've used this, hell, maybe 9 months now. I got it when it first came out, and this has been an incredible RDTA. By far my favorite up to date. And I don't really know why. I think what I love about it so much is you have these huge ports on the side for your cotton, and it drinks the juice, and the flavor on it is absolutely remarkable. I also like how the airflow hit it below, so I am kind of wondering how that's going to be on this one. As I mentioned, I haven't even tried this RDTA yet, but I wanted you to experience with me. I got this in the mail today. It was $29.99 at Vapor DNA, which is the same price as the regular edition, which I thought was pretty cool. I always love Project Sub-Ohm stuff because, I don't know, I just think that blue on black is sexy on the things they do. But anyway, inside the box we have one Pyro V2 RDTA with the bottom feeder, which is unique for this one as opposed to the last one. One drip tip, user manual, an accessory bag. This coil lead guide, I'll have to show you that. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to try and do a coil, which it comes with 2 coils I'll use, so I can say I used the coils inside the box, but I'm going to use this lead guide too and kind of show you that. And one Pyrex glass tube. So, pop it open, and there is the Pyro BF RDTA V2. Put this aside right now. Inside the box, this is the coil lead guide. As you know, you just set your coil down in there and you can cut your tail lengths as high as you want. And I guess this is to make it more accurate. I never really noticed that I needed these in any of my other RDTAs in the past, but whatever. It also has a little arrow saying, hey, you should build it this big. Although we're going to give you all these options in case you like it, but this is our recommended setting. So whatever, kind of cool. I guess it's something a little extra. I think it's a little gimmicky, but we'll give it a whirl today. Of course, you have your extra glass. You have a spare 810 Goon style drip tip. As you can see, this one's kind of coned at the top as opposed to the traditional style drip tip. Underneath the box, or the foam, you have your 2 coils, which we will use today, along with your bag of goodies, as well as a standard 510 drip tip. You also have the long pin in case the squonk thing isn't for you, and we'll install this pin today, which is the squonk pin, but it's good you get extras. Also included is the squonk pin, so I guess that is an extra one, but you can tell there's the regular pin in case you just want to use this as a traditional RDTA. So, kind of cool. A lot of options in this little box. User manual. Push that to the side. Alright. Pop these coils open real quick. And these are fused Claptons, in case you can't read that. It says 26 gauge with 35 gauge. So they should ohm out to 0.33 ohms. I'm assuming that's per coil. And it even gives you it's NI80, which is kind of cool. And it's saying recommended power of 40 to 55 watts. So very cool. I like how they put a lot of information on that. Usually you just get these little coils in the bag. Alright, so here is the star of the show, the Pyro V2. As you can tell, it's a Project Sub-Ohm edition, which is why it's blue and black. But virtually yours will be the same thing whether you get the special edition or not. So, how this works, you have your standard 810 up top. Very tight, very snug. O-ring inside there holds your 810 in place. But what's cool about this one, or what's different about this one, I'm not sure if it's cool yet, is the airflow is controlled through the top. As you know, on the old one, to control the airflow, you would have to turn it, and it would close this hole off. Well, now, it's hitting the coil from the top, going through and hitting it underneath, which I'm interested to see if that affects the flavor much. So, you simply pop this cap off, just like the old one. And now they have these rubber or silicone inserts. On the previous one, those were metal inserts. So the fill is going to be exactly the same, and the airflow is going to be different. So keep that in mind. If you are a fan of the old one, I am not sure. I'll tell you in a few how it vapes, how it's going to taste, and all that stuff. This also has these notches, so you can slide in right over the other notches. So that is different on this one as well. So some big changes on this, gang. Underneath, you got your Vandy Project Sub-Ohm X Vandy Vape. And with the Pyro RDTA V2. So, kind of cool. Like I said, there's some big changes in this tank. And I'm a little suspicious about that because I felt the last tank was amazing. So, we will learn together. Going inside, you got your positive and your negative leads here, just like the old one, and it looks like they kept the same wicking ports as they did with the old one. Same fill port. You fill here, shove your wicks down here. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and try and build a coil in our fancy dancy lead controller. They say recommended in this one, so we will give it a try. So I am assuming you just push it in here and you will clip these leads right at the base. So your leads should be the same when you pull it out. Very interesting. Like I said, I never really felt a need for this. You kind of get the feel, but I guess if you're a newer vapor or you just have trouble seeing, this does make it a little easier. So I'll clip these leads. I'm doing this on camera, so I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. So my leads are cut. Now, hypothetically, these should be the exact same length because you have your lead controller. So going into this, we will loosen up these screws. Very tight for the first time. Screw those out a little bit. Alright, we should be good to go. Pop these into one side. It does indeed look pretty even, so that's a good thing. So I am just going to tighten these down a little bit at first. Get them evened up. I need something to straighten it. And I didn't bring anything, so we will improvise. That looks like about a 2.5. Well, I grabbed 2.5. Pretty close. Looks like about 2.5 millimeter. Like I said, that the bag probably would have said, but whatever. We're going to do it this way. So let's straighten that coil up. And I'm just going to tighten these down all the way. We do have extra screws, however we don't want to strip our screws out. Straighten that up. It also has the ramp like the old one right here. See that? How it's going to hit that coil right underneath. So that's exciting. So it looks like they basically just redirected the airflow, because the base, with the exception of the squonk pin, looks exactly the same. I'm excited to try this as a squonk. Do the same thing on this side. Let's straighten my coil out before we tighten her down all the way. Alright, it looks like that screw, it is a Phillips, but it looks like you could use a flathead on that too, which is kind of cool. Gives you another option, I guess. Probably less chance of stripping my screws that way. So I did not use the tool they provided. So let's just see. Yep. Very cool. Very cool. I like that. So you have another option. I wonder if an Allen wrench would even work in there. Who knows? Anyway. So now I'm just straightening up my coils a little bit, getting them centered over that airflow port. Pull this one back a little bit. Just a smidge. Alright, those look pretty good. Let's make sure our cap goes over this, because those leads are longer than I would have made them. I like it right above my base. However, this is what they recommend. We'll give it a try. Alright, looks like we aren't touching. We're not going to ground ourselves out. So that is a great sign. So, yeah, pretty simple stuff. Going swimmingly with the old lead cutter there. And today I am going to put this on my own boy. What's up, own boy? Yeah, it looks pretty sick as tits. I'm digging that. Yeah, it looks good. So anyway, let's turn our wattage down a little bit to start heating up these coils. And let's get them nice and evenly glowing. Alright, got a hot spot. So, you can tell these hot spots are hard to get out of these coils, but we're coming along. That one's looking good. Let's give this one a little more loving. That one's running way hotter. Just going to check to make sure these are tightened down. I have a feeling it's because these leads are so long. Yep, that one wasn't even loose. That one wasn't even tight, I mean. What the crap. Ah, there we go. Now we're happy. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe when I straighten it up it came loose or something, but I'll let you know if that becomes a problem. All right, we're looking good now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let this cool down a minute. So, my bottle's almost empty here, but as you can see, what's going on? Oh, you can see the juice comes out of the top and fills up your tank. Very cool. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. You should be able to hold a lot of juice. So, very cool. All right, get us a little cotton out. Now, I normally build with 3 millimeters, so I may have to do this cotton twice, just kind of get the feel. I like 3 mil coils, but 2.5 should work just fine. Shouldn't be an issue. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So a little WWE action for you guys there. Now, when I cut this, traditionally on the old one, it got really happy when I cut it. Just a smidgen, if you can see that, below. So I'm maybe a millimeter below the base of the deck. And basically, when I put it in there, we should come right where the cotton's just sticking out of the bottom of the deck. Much like most of your RDTAs, I imagine this one's going to vape very similar after looking at it. However, the airflow is redirected. So, put the other one in. Come on now. Don't be difficult on camera, baby. Don't be difficult on camera. Alright, so I'm going to cut this one. And if you've been keeping up with me, this is the first time I've built a coil on camera, and it is an experience. I give those other reviewers credit. So all I'm doing is fluffing these out a little bit. One cool thing about the Pyro is they don't need a ton of fluff. So they wick so good because those ports are so big. Cut a little bit more off this side. Alright, now I'll just take the tip of my scissors, get this side pushed in there. And I don't know if you can see that, but where it's just peeking out at you at the bottom, that's usually, at least with the last one and most RDTAs, that's just about perfect. Ooh, that is a good looking coil. Get some juice. Today I am using cherry limeade, and this is a local company here, Dark Vapor. It's a house juice, and yeah, it tastes just like cherry limeade. It's light on the cherry, heavy on the limeade. But if you're ever in one of the small towns in Oklahoma, such as Shawnee, Oklahoma, you can grab you some cherry limeade. Just gonna juice it up a little bit. I love Dark Vapor's juices. I don't do many house juices, if you know, but I do like Dark Vapors. It has just the right amount of sweetness to their juices. Juice up these coils good. Give it a little pump there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be delicious. Alright, I am going to go ahead and fill this because I don't want to squonk all my juice out of my bottle to top this off. So guys, you should be getting a ton of juice out of this thing. Pretty much all your squonking devices now will hold just about 8 mils of juice. And then you're tacking on 4.5 more mils of juice, and yeah, you're looking pretty good there. Man, that's a good looking setup. I'm going to start it with my airflow, which this is really hard to see on camera. I'll try and show it to you guys. You actually have to look down at your airflow through here, and you can see it opening and closing through there. So yeah. Oh, we are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so that is the Project Sub-Ohm up close and personal. Let's go up top, have a vape on it. You know what? We'll have a couple vapes on it. We'll shoot the shit, and we'll see just what the hell they did here and how good it is compared to the last one. That was the Pyro V2 RDTA Squonkable. All right. As I said, you don't have to run this squonk. I'm excited that it is a squonk because I love squonks, and I'm one of the few people who still are in love with RDTAs. I just like the fact that all the flavor I get off a good RDTA, and I've yet to find something that beats it other than an RDTA. But with this, you don't have to keep pouring juice in it, and that's why I've always been an RDTA fan. So anyway, enough about my weird past. The Pyro V2 RDTA Squonkable Sub-Ohm Project Sub-Ohm Edition. Yeah, overall, what do I think? Let's talk about pros and cons. I do love the ease of the airflow control. The airflow is easier than the original. However, I don't know that I'm getting the flavor I got off the original. I don't know. It's pretty good. They're very close. Now, the fact that it makes it squonkable, I do like it better than the original. Now, I don't know if this pen will work in the original. I need to try that, but regardless, moving on. The airflow control is very easy. You just, a simple twist. Oh, just dropped my extra deal here. Anyway, you just give it a simple twist and it will go. I seem to like this better. I go fully open and then just smidgen turn close, and it seems to be, yeah, flavor's really good there. I was running it wide open for a minute before I came back up top, and I just wasn't getting the flavor I needed. Now, whenever I close it down just a little bit, the flavor really starts hitting. So, very cool there. The coil they included, it's cool they include them, you know, whatever. The lead thing, or the lead tool, I guess they're calling it, to cut your leads, as you saw down below. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. I don't know that I will ever use that, simply because I don't want to dig it out to cut my leads. I've been using this RDTA with the first one and now this one so long that I know right where my leads need to be anyway. However, if you're new to building, or if you're not really sure where you want your leads and you want to play with different sizes, there you go. You can really tune in your coil, I guess, with that tool. So it's cool they include it. Very cool. And plus all the extras you get is really cool. I love that I can do this in a regular RDTA, a squonk RDTA, and that just opens up a lot of options. So that's another big plus. Like I said, the only negative I can think of is I'm not sure with the top airflow I'm going to get the flavor I got with that one. The other one, the airflow is hitting right underneath that coil and coming up to your mouth. And man, the flavor is just amazing off of that RDTA. And like I said, that was by far my favorite RDTA. Still a little early to tell on this one. I feel like right now it's not going to quite have that flavor that the other one had. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying the flavor is bad whatsoever. Not saying that whatsoever. All I'm saying is I don't think it's going to be quite as good. I don't think. However, with the squonk, you know, I'm repeating myself, but you get the gist. So whatever. It squonks very easy, and I will say the airflow is smooth as butter. The airflow, the inhale is just amazing on it. Some of the best I've had, actually, on any tank I've ever owned. I mean, that thing's silent. Let me get up here so you can hear it. Yeah, really good airflow. Really good flavor overall. I'm starting to dig the flavor. I think I'm getting it dialed in a little bit more now. So yeah, that is the Pyro V2 RDTA. If you're into RDTAs, or you're even into squonking, I highly recommend this because you are going to get a lot more juice. I mean, you're looking at an extra tank of juice, and I'm already doing like 8 mils on this Homeboy Squonk, which, by the way, that looks so sexy. Looks good. That blue and the black looks It's just, this was made for this device. I love it. A lot like my Dead Rabbit. It just looks good. I love a sexy device. Anyway, Pyro V2 RDTA. Get out and get you one. I don't think you'll regret it. And if you can afford it, get the first one. You can make your own comparisons. And let me know in the comments if you own both. What do you think about the new one versus the old one? I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it, but I'd love to hear what you guys, some of you probably had this a lot longer. I was kind of waiting. I heard the Project Subon was going to come out with it, so I waited. But yeah. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the Pyro V2 RDTA Squonkable. Please get out there, support your first responders and your veterans. And if you like this video, click the little like button for me. If you really like this video, click the subscribe button. I'm trying to pump out a lot of videos for you guys. All this is purchased by me for you. So yeah. Pretty good. All right. Thanks, YouTube.